Yo, what's going on, buddy? This is Don't Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. First things first, I'm recovering from COVID. As you can hear by my voice, I've been sick the past couple days. Bear with me. But in today's video, kind of what I wanted to do is I kind of wanted to discuss the Brian Flores Tua Tagovailoa situation. It happened a couple of days ago, going on about a week now, and it kind of wrapped around Brian Flores and Tua Tagovailoa. Basically, Flores was not that good of a coach whenever he was the coach of the Miami Dolphins, even though they did have a winning record. Tua Tagovailoa was on the verge of his career possibly being over with him. Then they transferred over to Mike McDaniels. Tua Tagovailoa has been pretty good here lately. Tua Tagovailoa went on a podcast, I believe, and he was kind of talking about former coach Brian Flores, and he basically said some of the bad things about Brian Flores. Things like how he kind of talked about him, how he just said, like, you suck. He had this mindset of, like, he was just going to talk bad about you, make you feel bad about it yourself. And the whole entire NFL world chirped in. They started giving their responses. They started giving their opinions. And that's kind of what I wanted to do in today's video. So number one, I kind of want to discuss exactly what has happened. Number two, discuss Brian Flores as a coach, what kind of this means for him, how he responded to the accusations. He had already given a press conference kind of, like, I guess, responding to it. Number three, why exactly this all happened. And then number four, just kind of, like I said, give my opinion on the whole thing about how I feel about everything that went and kind of transpired. Now, as always, all information you're going to be seeing on screen, I'll have a link to it down in the description below. So if you want to go check it out for yourself, feel free. But I'm going to go and get straight into this. If you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, as you can see here from this ESPN article, as you can see here, talking about Brian Flores and Tua Tagovailoa, says here a day after the publication of an interview in which Tua Tagovailoa called Flores, quote, a terrible person. Brian Flores says, quote, I'm genuinely happy for the success that Tua has had, and I really wish him nothing but the best, quote. Now, like I said, Flores was the Miami Dolphins coach. For a few years, he was the Miami Dolphins coach with Tua Tagovailoa for his first two seasons, so he was there when they drafted them. He gave the okay, I guess, to draft Tua Tagovailoa to the Miami Dolphins back in the 2020 NFL draft. After those two seasons, it seemed like they were trying to kind of already ready to move on. They were going to just give it up, and they ended up firing Brian Flores because they decided to go with the route of saying, no, Tua is our guy. If you don't want to coach Tua, that's fine. You can go coach somebody else. But then, like I said here recently, it says here in an interview that took place last week with, quote, the Dan LeBatter show, I think I'm getting that correctly, an expert which was aired on Monday. Tua Tagovailoa compared Flores' coaching style with that of current coach Mike McDaniel. He said on the show, quote, if you woke up every morning and I told you that you suck at what you did, that you don't belong doing what you do, that you shouldn't be here, that this guy should be here, that you haven't earned this right, and then that you have somebody else ready to just come in and tell you, dude, you are the best fit for this. How would it make you feel listening to one or the other? And I kind of get what he's saying, but here's the reason, I guess, why Flores was the way that he was. Look at the coaching tree that he came from. Bill Belichick. What was Bill Belichick always like? And same thing with, like, Tom Brady. They were just about, they called him each other shit. Tom Brady, you're horrible. Tom Brady, you're ass. You're no good of a player. And Tom Brady, he kind of thrived off that. He was ready to go out there and prove everybody wrong. Everybody ready to go out there, kick everybody's asses. Tom liked that play style. But Belichick liked that coaching style. Flores thought, hey, it worked with them. They won 6 Super Bowls in New England. I'm going to go take it to Miami. And as we kind of saw, it just didn't work out. Tua Tagovailoa, he doesn't like that coaching style. He doesn't like that kind of mindset towards, like, you're just called dog shit. You're called ass. You are no good of a quarterback. You're never going to succeed. Some players it works for, some players it don't. And Tua was not one of those players. There are some players that you can just call them shit and make them work hard through that. There are some players that you need to kind of motivate and talk about great and get their hopes up. And there are some players that they don't need either one. It's just give me the X's and O's. Tell me what I need to do. And that's how they get good. Now, when Flores was kind of interviewed talking about all this stuff, he says, quote, I think part of coaching is correcting. I'm always going to correct. I'm always going to have a high standard. And I think, look, I've done this. I've done a lot of reflecting on the situation and communication. I think there's things I could do better for sure. And I've grown in that way. I've tried to apply these things that I could do better and things that I've learned over the last 2 to 3 years. Now, when it comes to what Tua is saying about Brian Flores, how he's talking about, like I said, some players just don't work well for. You're not going to do well with a player that they need to be motivated. They need somebody to be like, hey, great job, great hit. Like, if they make a great hit, they want you to say great hit. Don't be looking at them like, man, that was the worst hit I ever fucking seen, because then they're going to think like, dude, how much better do you want me to get? Or if you see a quarterback go out there and practice and they're throwing spirals after spirals, hitting touchdowns, throwing darts, feeding the ball between corners, they're making great reads after great reads, they're throwing the ball where you would want them to throw to, and you're just looking at them like, So what? Your ass. Get better, fucker. Like, when it comes to the mindset, like, you're gonna almost get drained. Like, what do I have to fucking do to get this guy to be fucking happy about what I'm doing? Now, the other part of this I kind of want to discuss is the fact that, like I said, when Flores left, Tua has been very good. Tua has grown since Brian Flores left, and I think it was the best thing for both of them. Both of them just split, go their separate ways. I think for Brian Flores, that's good for him right now. He's trying to figure himself out. He's been with Pittsburgh for a year, then he went to Minnesota. He's been there as their defensive coordinator. He's not doing the best job in the world, but he's trying to rebuild himself, rebuild his character, I guess you could say. And when it comes to Tua Tagovailoa, he's doing good. Mike McDaniels, he's got the great offense for him. They got all the great pieces. And I think they're going to have a comfortable career. He's going to have a comfortable career going forward with the Miami Dolphins. Because last time I checked, if they would have stayed together, Tua would have been on the side of the road, probably doing nothing because his quarterback career was coming to an end. And Brian Flores was trying to turn the Miami Dolphins into another New England Patriots, which I'm sorry, it wasn't going to work out. Now, when you look at both their stories, Tua's getting paid $200 million over 4 years, and he's playing as a, I wouldn't say MVP caliber, but he's got a possibility of Offensive Player of the Year caliber. And Brian Flores has a chance to be a top 5 defensive coordinator. Who knows? Both of them have their bonuses right now. But like I said, when it comes to the whole situation, Tua, he was smart to kind of speak out about it. And like I said with Brian Flores, people are going to say like, oh, he needs to get tougher. Tua needs to get tougher. No. Certain people like that kind of mindset. Some people don't. You have to get used to it. But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did go and enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion, do you agree or disagree with anything I said? If you agree and think Brian Flores was doing the right things as a coach, or wrong things as a coach, whatever your opinion may be, leave a complete opinion down in the comment section down below. I'd be more than welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do poster and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified the second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.